Guys are here. See the lines are piling up right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have a conversation. And this conversation is a conversation I've been having, for the last 6 months, and it just gets better and better every time I have it. And when you look at all the things that Angel said about me, I really do appreciate them. And when I look at coming out of retirement, and I basically hung it up 3 years ago, and I just wanted to do me. I wanted to enjoy my wife, enjoy my two sons, and and we did that 3 years running. And but I was basically looking to go and do some more investing, make some things happen in the private sector, and I got a phone call about this company. And after taking a look at it as a favor to a person, it ended up being a favor to me. And when I say I was amazed, I was blown away at what they had their hands on. I was extremely excited because I've been trained to recognize moments like this, right? And so I saw an opportunity, and I'll share that opportunity with you guys. When you talk about building something special, as you see BYLD, build your life's dreams, as Angel, so eloquently made that up. You know, I can see people building their life's dreams. I can see people in the midst of everything that's going on around them come into a company that's not network marketing and on a part-time basis make six figures a year with no experience, right? And so what I want you guys to do is just, like it says on the chart right there, build your mindset, build your business and or your career and build your net worth. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and click through these little slides real quick and we'll have a nice little conversation. Okay. So when it comes to the actual platform itself, again, as I stated, it's not network marketing. It is a high ticket sales company, okay? But it's not the typical high ticket sales company that has $100 or $200 service that they pawn off for $1,000, 5,000, $10,000, jack up the value of it and overcharge you for something you could have got on YouTube. Okay. This is a high ticket company that boast, industries that millionaires and billionaires are actually building and investing in and building their lifestyles and fortunes around. Okay. And so that's why I did it, because a person, an average everyday person, can now come in and participate on the same level as these people who are 7 and 8 figure earners and 9 figure earners, but with no more than $200 out of pocket, and that's how powerful the situation is, right? And so when you talk about building a business, I'm just going to tell you why would you do that? And it's, obviously it's because nobody is here to save you, and it's nobody's job to save you, right? You have to start making a smart decision. And when you see opportunities that are out there that can actually buy you your freedom from, the workforce, you should take those opportunities serious. You should not just consider them. You should go and do as much research or get as much information on them as possible, because when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter how much your company loves you that you work for, you're not a part of their future. They don't have you in their plans. Okay. The more and more AI becomes, available, the more and more outsourcing overseas becomes more efficient and proficient for them, the less jobs you'll have in the US, right? And so I want to make sure you guys understand that, you know, it's your job to be the president of your household. It's your job to control the economy under your own roof. Okay. And so it starts with you. Okay. And so all this stuff that you see here happening, people who actually make smart business decisions, they make smart money decisions. These things don't affect you. Okay. You actually insulate yourself from debt crisis, layoffs, inflation, all the stuff that you see here. All these things are non-factors, and they actually happen to people who are not prepared and people who made bad decisions in their days. Okay. And so when it comes to what people are doing and people are turning to who really need a second income or even a third income, they're turning to things like Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, Shopify. And guys, I'm gonna just tell you, it helps, right? It's a very good short-term fix for some people if you have an automobile, right? Or if you have an extra house, or you have a good enough credit where you can actually get some apartment complexes in your name, right? And so if you're good on social media and you can market, these things are great for you right now, but they're not your long-term fix. Okay. But right now, the people who are providing these opportunities to you, these people are making billions of dollars, right? And so they're making billions of dollars because they're taking a little bit off of every transaction that ever happens to the people who they empower with their band-aid. Okay. And so keep that in mind, right? A lot of people are being bought wholesale and they're being sold retail and they're getting a little bit of the money that the companies are making a fortune off of. Okay. And so when you look at business opportunities, guys, most people are not trained to know how to evaluate business opportunities. Okay. When a person who's a 7 or 8 figure earner, when they look at opportunities and whether they want to participate in them or not, these are boxes that must be checked, right? Industries with a big target market and low market penetration. Okay, check. Essential goods and services like gas, electricity, water, habits, or addictions. Check. Right. Industries that will thrive in good and bad economies. Got to get that check. Right. And so when you look at, as an example, Angel told you we made 7 figures in multiple industries, guys, and she didn't say that to impress you. She said that to impress upon you that we're pretty good at what we do. We've learned from geniuses, and we sat at the feet of people who know business, and we became great students. And that's the only thing that I want you to appreciate about the situation. It's not about the amount of money that I made. It's about the amount of mistakes that I made that I learned from that can keep you from making, right? But one of the things that we made multiple 7 figures in, almost 8 figures, was coffee. Okay, when you look at COVID, right? COVID happened. Everybody was locked in home, right? And you had companies who they didn't take advantage of it. They seized the opportunity to do bigger and better business. If you look at Netflix, they just blew up, right? They actually went to a place where now they have 260 million subscribers because they had all of you at home and with nowhere to go, right? When you look at games and gaming systems like Fortnite, those guys blew up. Well, people who also had things like coffee, alcohol, things like that, they also exploded. I was in the coffee industry and our income skyrocketed because people drank more coffee at home, right? And because people lean on their habits and things when they're in bad places, when they're in troubled times. And so there are things when you're taught how to evaluate businesses and opportunities, there are things that you look for, there are triggers that you look for that'll help you make smart decisions, not emotional decisions, right? And so, because you've all heard, find something that you're passionate about and make that your business. Whereas when most people find something that they're passionate about and they make it their business, they're making bad decisions. Okay. When I look at Warren Buffett says, the things that you love to do, don't make that your business. Make that your hobby. Find things that people are passionate about and things that people need. Make that your business, right? And then you go enjoy the rest of your life with your passions and your hobbies. Right now, guys, people need solar. Right now, people are looking at their bills skyrocket through the roof. And for the people who see the direction that solar is going in, guess what? They're making $6,000 to $10,000 a transaction. Okay. Now, that's one transaction. And let me share with you how simple it is to make a $6,000 deal. If you know how to do these 3 things, you can follow this simple set of instructions without deviating from the plan. You can make 4,000, 6,000, $10,000 a deal. If you can, one, right? Pique a person's interest, ask them a question about solar. If they want more information, you give them some benefits. And then 2, you get their bill. 3, you set an appointment with our expert. And 4, you get out of the way and repeat, right? Every one of those deals that you actually turn in, you submit with an appointment that successfully become an install in solar, guys, our company will pay you between $6,000 to $10,000, right? That's what the commissions range from. Then you look at water. Right now, you're talking about a company that's leading the industry, well, the industry that's leading the way right now when it comes to perpetual buyers and customers. Water. Everybody drinks water. Alkaline water in particular is one of the fastest growing segments of business. And when we looked at the market, our point of entry right now is spot on. A lot of people have bad water, hard water. Drinking water is just contaminated, and there are billions of dollars of revenue to be generated to be split by us and everybody else who's in water. Well, if you are actually selling one of our water filtration systems, guys, every one of those systems will get you $1,000 to $2,100 return for one system sale. Okay. Think about how powerful that is, and keep both of these in mind because you'll have people who right now they're looking for a second job. And that second job is going to take 30 hours away a week away from their families, their loved ones, and even your own life that you want to enjoy after your first job that you work 40 hours a week on. But that second job, guys, is only going to pay you $2,000, $3,000 a month, right? For the 30 hours a week that you actually work. And here we are showing you how to make six to $10,000 on solar in 15-minute conversation, right? 1,000 to $2,100 in a 15 to 20-minute conversation, right? Guys, you do that once a month, you're doing really, really good for yourself. And for some of you who have a part-time job, I can just say this is the fastest way to work your way out of that second job. And then one day, who knows, you may be able to work your way out of the first job. Okay. When it comes to security, that's another industry that's been around for over 100 years, not going anywhere. Right. And so, ADT brings over 100-year corporations out there, $500 to $700 a transaction. Okay. We have people doing two, three, four of those a week, making some really good side money, part-time money. Keep in mind, all this money I'm talking about is part-time. None of this is full-time money. Right? We also have our own patented Ripple security system coming, and that's portable, that's military grade, right? And I can just tell you, it's something that you not will only get paid on the install like you do with ADT and Brinks. You'll also get paid on the monitoring, which means that you now will have residual income coming in on the monitoring, right? And so that's unique, and that's never been done before. Plus, that system again, it's not hardwired to anything, so you can unplug it and from home and take it to your office if you work late hours, or you can take it from your office, and take it on a vacation if you're going to be in a hotel room in a strange place or Airbnb in a strange place. Take it with you. It's going to secure whatever dwelling that you're residing in at that time. Because right now, we're not launching that until January 1st, 2025, but the pre-sales for this one thing is through the roof already. Okay. And then you have the residual income. I'm gonna talk on the back end, about the residual income because that's for our business owners, the people who have a entrepreneur mindset and people who understand that, you can live the life of a Jeff Bezos who's pretty much, overriding 200 million Amazon Prime memberships. Okay. That's what we call residual income. So with that being said, these are the industries that we're focusing on. Like I said, solar is what we lead off with because it's our flagship service. And so we're not a solar company, but this is what our main product is. When we look at solar, go back to what I said earlier, low market penetration. 90 million homes in the US qualify for solar. Only 5 million have actually gone solar. 85 million homes right now need solar, right? And so there's a number out there. For every 1% of homes that actually go solar, we're talking about, I think it's $5 billion of revenue, that's being generated in actual income. So I think that's putting us in a position where we don't have to worry about money just on solar by itself in this company for the next 10 years, minimum. Okay. So that's huge. Now, when you look at solar again in places like California, you can't even build a house, right? Unless it has solar being built with it. And that's been a law since 2020. Right? And so 2020, 30 until 2035, guys, you won't be able to have the ability in California and some other states in the U.S. to buy a motor vehicle that runs off of gas. It'll have to be an EV, right? Electric vehicle. So you have other things like lawnmowers and all these other things right now that the state of California is making people phase out and come back in with solar powered vehicles, solar powered the things like lawnmowers, tractors, food trucks, all those things, right? So whether we want to or not, it's happening. Okay. And so we can be in a position where we can participate, right? Or we can watch it happen and then, not make any money off of it, not capitalize off of it, not benefit off of it. And so this company also is working on a deal with a company that's going to help us provide charging stations around the United States of America as well. So, guys, right now you're in the right place at the right time when it comes to solar. But from a consumer perspective, for those of you who are homeowners, the reason you should look at solar, right, is because one, you can save up to 50% on all the energy costs. I actually went solar myself, after I got started in the company. As a matter of fact, they finished the install on my house 2 days ago. And you talk about someone is excited, and I'll share with you why I'm excited in just a second. But when you look at zero down and with various financing and as low as 3.9% interest rates, that's huge. Blackout protection, which is one of the things I said, hey, look, I'll talk to you guys about because a couple of months ago in Texas, we had a huge hurricane that knocked the power down in over 3 million homes in Texas. And people were without lights for anywhere from 2 days to 12 days. And so we've had people perish because they were on life support systems and things that required electricity for them to live. And things like that happen. We had people who are paying $400 a night at hotels that normally charge $79 a night because they couldn't stay in their homes. And so if those people would have had solar with a backup battery, that wouldn't have happened to them. Right? And so I now have solar with a backup battery. And so we were actually supposed to have been hit by the current hurricane that's in Louisiana, but it missed us and it went around us. But we were ready this time. Okay. Tax credits, received a tax credit of 30%. That's huge. That's for everybody. That just brought that back. That was actually gone. And so now, because the government is actually pushing for solar based on their current standing around the world when it comes to them being able to do business with people who control the oil around the world, they want to make sure that one day they don't wake up and be in a position where they can't get access to oil that they need. And so they want to make sure everybody goes solar right away. So they brought the tax credits back. It's a 10-year deal. 2 years have already passed. We have 8 more years to benefit from this. But once that's over, anybody who doesn't go solar, guys, I want you guys to understand this. They're going to have to pay full price for everything. Interest rates won't be 3.9% at that time. There will be no tax credit benefits to help a person's bill go down or help them offset taxes that they owe, right? All these things that you are seeing that the government is giving, those things won't be available because they will have now hit that quota that they need to make sure the social proof is right there in front of you. And then they'll just push the button and make it happen. And then you'll be forced to do it, whether you like it or not. Okay. But when it comes to your property, your home value goes up 4 to 5% per Zillow. And guess what? If you decide to sell it, it'll sell 20 times faster than the normal home without solar because the person who is buying that house, they are inheriting a home that has no light bill, right? Or even if it has a light bill, let's say that light bill is $200 a month, right? And everybody else's house around you, their light bill is $300 a month or 350 or whatever it is. Your light bill is that light bill is going to be locked in at that price point until that system is actually paid off, unlike their neighbors. Okay, clean energy. You just want the best, environment for your family. I know when we had to use generators when we had the blackouts, we can smell the gas in the home, and that's not good. I have two kids and a beautiful wife that I love, so I want to make sure I always put them in a protective environment. Hey, so all of these things are benefits to consumers that they really should consider, and it's all important. But just know this while you're thinking about it, in 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. Last year in 2023, someone went solar every 35 seconds. Okay. And so the reason why a lot of people are going solar with us, because this is where, the rubber meets the road. This is where we make the biggest difference, in other companies that are out there. People want to be in business with people who are trusted, people who have are tenured, people who have a resume of success. Well, Freedom Forever is our in-home, in-house installer, right? And they install right now in 35 states around the U.S. There's soon to be 40 states in 90 days, and then 44 states in 44 states in 6 months. Okay. They've done 160,000 installs since 2011, and they've had all kind of awards and accommodations, around the industry of solar. But the reason why they won those awards and the reason why they're so highly propped up in the industry, it's not because they've sold more installations, than everybody else. It's because they do better business than everybody else. They have better guarantees than everybody else. You have a 25-year guarantee, on the products and materials that you use on people's houses, just like every other company out there has. But what every other company doesn't have is a 25-year production guarantee, a 25-year guarantee on the work. Okay, making sure that the power is guaranteed. Make sure that you're never without power. Making sure that if something happens, somebody's coming out to fix it right away. If you ever lost savings or if you ever lost, money, and the light company actually sent you a bill because it's something wrong with your system, Freedom Forever actually pays you. They make you whole, right? And then they go and fix whatever challenge that is. And so you get that for 25 years, right? And so that's one heck of a guarantee, which is why I'm a product of the product, which is why I went solar. I myself, my bill was 460 on average per month, right? We saved $175. And on our bill per month, it dropped down. And then when we added the battery, it added another $80. It added $80 back onto it. So overall, we saved about $95, $90 a month, right? And our bill will never ever go up. And my personal intention is to just pay it off like I'm paying off my house. I pay extra every month, on my home, my mortgage, so I can eat into the interest. And I'm gonna pay extra on my energy system, so I can eat into the interest on that as well. So again, it's all about smart money, like the t-shirt says. So when you look at all these houses right here, the one thing that I see opportunity. And so each one of those doors need to be knocked. Each one of those individuals need to be called or referred to somebody in solar. Okay. So speaking of people who were referred to our company and who did go solar with us, guys, you have this home in California, and that individual that owned that home was paying 287 a month before they met us. After they met us, their bill went down to $148. Now, I want to make sure I clear something up for you guys, because some of you guys think that you have two bills when you actually have solar. You don't, right? The only way you have two bills is if your house is not a good candidate for solar and you do solar anyway, and you basically are paying for half solar, half energy. Well, most of the people who we deal with, most of these people's houses are 100% solar. So you're going to have one bill. Okay, we're going to replace the bill from the energy company with the bill from your system that you're paying off. Now you never pay any more energy bills to the company because they're no longer um, offering up or providing energy for you. Now it's between your roof and the sun, right? You own your own energy company on top of your home, right? So when it's paid off, bill goes away. That's why I said when you actually have a home, think about it for a second. For those of you who own a mortgage, you have a mortgage because one day you intend on owning that house fully, right? You would never ever live in someone's home for 30 years and pay them rent never to own it. Right? So why would you do the same exact thing for your energy? Why would you rent energy from someone, for 30, 40, 50 years, your whole entire life, when you can actually own it? Okay. So when it comes to the payout, though, the homeowner benefited, but so did the people who actually did the transaction. The person who got the bill and set the appointment for the homeowner made $3,200. And the person who took the bill, did the presentation, the mock-up of the actual solar panels on the roof, and helped that person come to a buying decision, they made $3,200. That commission was $6,400. What happens if the person, who bought the deal and the person who closed the deal was the same person? That person gets the whole entire commission. Okay. So the same thing happens for this house here in Florida. $410 a month before us, $290 a month after us, locked in, never to increase. And when it comes to the person who brought the deal to the table, $4,100. The person who closed the deal, right, and helped the owner, come to a buying decision, $4,100. Okay. $8,200 in total is what paid out. Well, again, if that person was one and the same, that person makes $8,200. So again, there's a ton of money being made in solar. And when you're doing business right, guys, I can just say right now, you're making a ton of money, making a ton of difference. Okay. And so as you see right here, a solar presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. Guys, do the math. Like I said, it's just, again, people who look at this stuff and they don't go solar. It's for more. It's not a common sense thing. It's a fear-based thing. And so people are smart. They can count. They can do the math. They understand what's going on. But it's something that may not be connecting with them. Okay. But when it comes to energy costs, I'll just keep it simple for you. Look at your energy bill today, right? And think about what it was 5 and 10 years ago. It's a lot different, right? So think about what it is today. and imagine the same thing happening. But this time, based on how greedy these electric companies are, they're going to start increasing, light bills not once, sometimes twice a year. We just had something in Texas come out where, again, after they've already increased the bills earlier this year, before the end of the year, they want to increase them again. Okay, and so that is the increases, guys, is not coming because you're using more energy. The increase is coming because you're dealing with a dirty grid, right? And that grid, I want to share some with you, needs repair. It's been around for over 160 years. So, they have to continue to maintain it. And that maintenance is paid by the end user, the customer. It's not paid by them. So the increases is not about, look at your bill, guys. You'll see there's a large disproportionate amount of money that goes to these electric companies that have nothing to do with energy. Okay? You're paying for the maintenance. So I'm going to share with you why it's going to go up even bigger and even faster. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. The more people go solar, the less customers they have. The less customers that they actually have, the more money they have to charge. And the people who are non-believers and the people who don't go solar, they end up footing the whole entire bill. Okay. So a person can be in denial all they want, but it's going to cost them. Okay. So energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, says Warren Buffett. Again, one of the most successful investors worldwide. And this is a man that, when I say I don't take advice from people I wouldn't trade places with, I've been following this gentleman for ages. Okay. And I respect him, when it comes to this situation, because he didn't just say it's going to be the largest wealth transfer in history. He literally put $10 billion of his own money in clean energy and solar, right? So if he's doing it, I'm doing it. I'm not putting 10 billion in. I don't have that, but I'm putting something in, right? So compensation plan, this is where we're talking about, how you're making the big money, right? And so let's see here. 7 different ways to get paid. We're not going to talk about all seven, but one thing I'm always harping on this. The final this is the first time, guys, that in 20 plus years of business, of dealing with people and building sales forces around the world, that I've actually brought something to the table where a person can literally make a six-figure income easily, okay, on a part-time basis without actually recruiting. They can have a legitimate career, part-time career, okay, six-figure career, or a part-time or full-time multiple six-figure career, right? So when you look at these things right now, guys, it's just telling you virtual sales. So door knocking, for me, I'm not a door knocker, okay? But I have people on my team that door knock, right? And when you actually refer someone to the company for solar, as I expressed earlier, you get half of that commission. Okay. When you become a bill mentor, the person who does the mock-ups with the AI on how the systems look on the roof, talk to the person about the financing and help them come to a buying decision, that individual gets the other half, right? And so for those of you who don't want to sell solar, you can actually build a sales force and earn the commissions from the sales that they actually make. So if you like building a sales force, you like managing people and bringing people to opportunities, this one is for you as well. Okay, so we have a little bit for everybody, but kind of to share with you how that money breaks down when it comes to the commissions. The company is extremely generous, to the people who bring the money to the table. They pay us 70%. When I say us that actually bring deals to the table and us that close them. And then when you look at that average profit, for this example, it's going to be $10,000. Okay. And so with that $10,000, 70% of that is $7,000, which means that 3,500 goes to the person who brings the deal to the table. 3,500 goes to the person who closes it. I'll share with you what happens to the other 3,000 a little bit later in this presentation. But keep in mind these numbers, just for explanation purposes, I'm going to use this as an example all the way throughout this, conversation. But know that I'm under promising and over delivering, because we quite frankly have people like Sarah George, who is over in Maryland. Sarah George, her biggest commission to date was $14,000, a little bit over 14 grand. Okay, 5 figures, her half. Okay, so don't want you to think that everything we do is based on $3,500. So I don't want you to expect that. Yeah. So as a person who now is the mentor and you're closing deals and you say, you know what, I want to be that guy who closed my deals. Okay. I want to be like him when I grow up. I want deals to come to me as opposed to me having to go find every deal. Well, to do that, you have to have three deals that you brought to the table yourself. And now you're training with a mentor because you're watching them help you close those deals. Then you bring five to the table on your own. Okay. You get 100% of the commissions on that. And if you need some help, need some advice, mentors are on deck to actually advise you. Complete the company certification. We're talking about in-house, watch some videos, answer some multiple choice questions. We want to make sure that you have common knowledge of what it takes for you to represent our people. And then we put your name in lights, right? People can find you by clicking on the drop down when it comes to mentors, shows what states you're in if they want a specific state, right? And you can also, if you have a team, the people in your team can refer all of their deals to you as well. But if we know you're out there grinding, we know that you're building the system, the way you're doing the deals, the way we actually do them, and we can trust you. We'll push all types of traffic your way as a mentor. Okay? But let's say you have people who want to be a mentor like you. They have to do their three deals, and four people identify you as somebody they want to work with, and you help those four people do their 12 deals total. That's $3,500 per deal per month. That's $42,000 per year. It's $500,000. Everybody say it with me, part time, right? And so couldn't hear you, but I know you said it. All right. So Zig Ziglar quoted this, and I love Zig. Rest in peace. You'll get all that you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. And I actually have a quote that I kind of stemmed from his quote, which is, if you put everybody else's family first, your family will never ever be last. And guys, again, this is just one of those things where we bring people in front of this opportunity, and we're not twisting anybody's arms. We're not begging anybody to do the business. The one thing you'll never be able to say, as long as you live, is that we never told you about it. Okay? And so it's not a pressure sale. We just want to help people. They just pay us well for helping people. Okay? So when it comes to you helping people and you actually saying, I want to share this with people I know would be great at this, people who are great salespeople, people who are great leaders, people who are great managers, people who've actually built, corporations from the ground up, huge sales forces. I want to target people like that. And every time I bring somebody on, every time they actually do a deal, I'm going to get a override. Okay. These are on your front lines. Your front lines are your directs. Remember that $3,000, that was left over, and I said I'll come back to it. This is where we come back to it. Okay. Because as a consultant, you get 20% of that actual override, which is $600. Okay. Now, when, let's just say, you personally invited me to the table, and say, let's say I'm talking to Jamie, and Jamie, you bring me to the table, and I actually do a deal, right? And you get 20% of that deal. That's $600. I do five deals. That's $3,000, right? I do 10 deals. Guess what that is? 9,000, because you're no longer getting 20%. Now you're getting 30%, right? So those 10 deals are 10 times $900, right? Let's say I bring in Angel, right? Angel does one deal. That's 10% on the 3,000. So yes, 3,000, that's $9,300 in that example. Okay. Guys, I'm just telling you, not having to be, a part of the transactions and still being able to override every transaction. That's what happens in corporate America every day, right? The founder of the feast, the person who opens up the company, they're the ones who make the amount of money because they're the ones that brought the idea to the table. Okay? And so we put you in the same exact position as those individuals. Let's just say you go out there and you bring on another heavy hitter. Let's say you bring on someone like Priscilla, right? And Priscilla, she does 15 deals in a month, right? And you go director. So you got my 10, you got Priscilla's 15, and that's 25 deals. Well, now you're getting 35% on every transaction, right? And you get 15% on team overrides. So now you're getting more money based on your team expanding and growing. So down in depth, more money. Now, executive director here, and I'll wrap this thing up. As you can see, as your team, as the amount of installs, not necessarily the team, as the amount of installs grow, production grows, so does your percentage. 40% direct, 20% down to infinity. But now this is where ownership kicks in. Yeah, you might want to write that down on your paper. Ownership. right? Because when you look at the company, what they do is they take 100% of all the installs that happen in the company, and they take 2% and 5%, as you can see on national, and they put them in two separate pools. And the people who of every transaction, every commission, and the people who are in those pools, they divide that money up evenly amongst these others. So it's just two people in the pool. Guess what? You divide it up. If it's 10 people in the pool, you divide it up. But you want to get to ownership. Okay. You want to be a shareholder as fast as possible. That's why I personally, when I first got started in the company, I first launched with the company, I brought in and exposed as many people I know that want to have a great career and just sell solar, or people who are also good and proficient at building teams. Okay. But in this example, here's a manager, guys, 10 consultants on your team, do one installation per month. Let's say four of those were directs that you brought on, and six of those were indirects. That's $6,300 in the example. You do one deal. Like when I say one deal, front and back, you bring it to the table and you actually close it, or you just bring a deal in that nets you $7,000. Okay, that's $13,000 a month. That's $150,000 a year. That's three times the amount the average person makes per year on their full time job. Double it up, you become a director. Okay, just multiply it by two. Okay. The amount of installs double up. You still do one deal that's $20,000 a month. That's $250,000 a year. Okay. Remember when I talk about smart money? You hear me? So you're going to hear me say smart money all through the presentation, the smart money t-shirt. Guys, I look at old brick and mortar businesses, right? And then I look at click and order infrastructure. So I'm looking at what's required to open up an actual solar company. And financially, it's like 100,000 to 250,000 dollars to open up, get it off the ground. And to sustain it, it can go anywhere from $10,000 a month to 30, 40, $50,000 a month. That is It's because all the stuff that you see there that's needed in this actual picture. Guess what? I actually opened up my own solar brokerage, my own high ticket sales company. That brokerage for $200 gives me everything those companies have. Guess what else it gives me? The ability to make more money on each transaction than people who actually own companies do. Okay. So when I look at these small companies that just open, their buying power to those companies that provide, panels and wiring and stuff like that, their buying power is kind of small compared to Freedom Forever's buying power discounts. Freedom Forever's buying power discounts allows them to pay us a lot more money per transaction without us actually having to price gouge our customers, the end user. So you have a win-win-win situation. Okay? So you have a lot of companies that are in one or two states or five states. They want to be in 35 states without actually closing down their company, but they want to expand their territory. Guys, they join us. They continue to do business in the same states that they open in, but now they recruit people in other states. And guess what? They don't have to do any of the work. Once they recruit the people in those other states, guess what? Those people bring deals to the table. Freedom Forever does 100% of that work. And that company owner who has the influence in his small circle makes a huge override on every transaction that goes on through his circle in other states outside of his normal operating parameters. Okay. So when you look at being a person who says, you know what, I want to go ahead and have a great career when it comes to sales. I want a six-figure income on a part-time basis without having to recruit anybody. Right. I want to be that consultant. Yeah, it's $149 one time. You get yourself set up. It's no different than you becoming a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or something like that. Those are just upfront fees that takes care of you gaining access to the system. And there's a $49 a month overhead to make sure that you maintain access to everything that you need, from Freedom Forever to Encore support to training modules and everything else that we offer. So continual education and everything else included. So when you see that, guys, know this: you have access to sell everything that we offer now and everything that we will offer later. And oh, by the way, you say you don't want to recruit. I just want to share some with you. Some of you are going to sell solar to people who at some point in time may ask you if this is an opportunity that they can participate in. So you're going to end up recruiting people indirectly. the good part about it is, as a consultant, you can do that. You are allowed to build a sales force as well. You just don't have to focus on it, right? Doesn't have to be your intention. So as a builder, okay, a builder is someone who really does want to focus on building a sales force. A builder is a business-minded entrepreneur, somebody who, loves benefits, but also someone who understands residual income. Okay. And I'm going to talk about the residual income right away and show you what you get for $199. Like, I started with, and $99 a month that I never paid because I've always had more than four people who thought this was a bright idea like I did join me. Okay. So when it comes to the things that come with the builder's position, okay, Smart Money Club is just genius, actually. When I look at the market, I'm saying these people can take each one of these things and they can sell them as a part of our program, right? Like we can literally sell each and every last one of these categories as information for $500 a package or $1,000 a package or $2,000 a package, just like all these people on social media, right? We just decided to give it to you as a part of your membership, right? We decided that we wanted to make sure that once you made money, you knew how to now scale it, how to diversify, how to protect it and insulate yourself from things like the IRS, right? The things like now having to be penalized by companies that you go get loans from. Now you can be your own bank, get loans from yourself, right? All these things that we're doing, making sure you have the proper trust setups and everything you need for your corporations as well. We want to make sure that the people who we actually do business with are people who we can also do other business with, when they start making money in this opportunity, right? And so that's huge, guys. That comes with your membership, that $99 per month, right? The other thing that comes with this membership is this: a little bit of fun in the sun. If you like to travel, you get discounts on your resorts, you get discounts on your hotels, you get discounts on cruises. You also get discounts in steakhouses, restaurants, and a lot of shopping as well. Activities that you want to do with the kids and family. As again, this is another part of your $99 per month subscription on top of the support and everything you get for the $99. Now, here's the money side of it though. Okay. So when you look at the residual income, remember I talked to you earlier about people who have a business mindset. And I talked to you earlier about uh, Netflix making, have overriding 260 million subscriptions. Spotify, has a customer base where, guys, they have over 600 million people who are active on Spotify, but they have 239 people who that have an actual subscriptions that they actually override, right? When you look at Netflix, Amazon Prime, Jeff Bezos, remember, 200 million Amazon Prime subscriptions he overrides. Guys, that's when you talk about the level of security for a company. Subscription-based businesses are the new thing, right? That's where all the security comes. I don't care what we sell. I know what's coming in every month like clockwork. Imagine waking up every morning. Your mortgage is 3,200 and your car note is $600, right? $4,000 a month. Imagine opening up every month, waking up on the 1st of October, and you're making $4,000 a month on the subscriptions that you actually have that are being generated by your sales force. Okay. Year from now, imagine waking up and you got $55,000 a month coming in on the 1st of the month or at the end of the month when all these subscriptions run. 18 months from now, 2 years from now, it's going to pass anyway, right? Imagine waking up being at $250,000 a month, right? Because you have a subscription base that now spans not just all through the US, but internationally as well, because again, we have services and products that we're going to be going international with within the next 3 to 6 months. Okay. And so I need you guys to look at the big picture. I want to make sure that you're not looking at the situation that you're in and making right now decisions. You got to make decisions for tomorrow as well, because tomorrow is coming. And the cool part about it is you're getting in first. So the people who are in this situation first, um, the people who come in after you, their subscriptions count towards your actual income. That's the crazy part about it. You're not building this thing alone, right? Remember, someone invited me to take a look at this, and I can just tell you, this is a young woman who's never made $1 million in her life, but in 2 years now, when I'm making $250,000 a month, right? What do you think she's going to look at when her check match on me as her direct is 20%, right? I'm her first generation. Think about what 20% of $250,000 is a month. She'll be making 50 grand a month because she brought me to the table. So I want to make sure there's some things that you don't understand. And we're going to do a training on this, guys, at a whole entirely different time. But just know this: you spend $200 on things that have zero value. This weekend, some of you guys are going to spend $200 on food and movies. You're going to spend $200 when you go shopping. I'll be in Cancun. I'm definitely going to spend $200 in Cancun. Okay, but the investment of $200 in your business and in your future is something that you should not play with. Okay. And so get back with the person who invited you to the opportunity today. Get yourself positioned in this company as a builder. Okay. And let's do a game plan session for you. And let's put you in a position where in 12 to 18 months down the line, if you do what we teach you to do, you never have to worry about money again as long as you live. Right. The system, we have it, we perfected it, we know how it works. We just don't know if you will. So being honest, but being genuine. If this is not for you, we wish you well in everything you do. If you're excited about it, let's go ahead and get you started and get your game plan. So take care. We'll see you guys at the top. We'll see you guys at the bank. Definitely see you guys at the beach. Bye bye for now.